Well, good evening to everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That's me. The Babbler, that's me. And that's what this is going to be. So, I don't have an opening line for my evening lines either. So, I know that top of the morning to you is winning at this time. So remember to just please drop me a line. So, I am just flowing with spirit, guys, and just my heart is pounding at this time because I'm going against my comfort zone at this time because I'm pressing record. I know that I've been sharing a lot more videos with you guys because I'm getting a little bit more comfortable behind the camera, which is great, and allowing myself to share in my own documentation and experience, and just also offering guides and tools for those that tune in to the things that I am evolving and sharing with you all, because there's a purpose, but there's no set like direction with this page except to engage and enlighten. For I know that my energy alone is very healing, for I don't need confirmation of that, for I finally understand this within myself. And so this is a gift in itself, just even, knowing this. So wherever you are in your life journey, just know that magnificent healing waves and vibes, understanding the energy of this time and knowing that energy is real. And the alchemy within me understanding this to be is surreal. I feel like, even my own understanding of just like distractions and noises, they tend to come up a lot, especially when we take the time to get into this kind of like interconnect that is profound in some way. Like sometimes you have technical difficulties, or there'll be noise, distraction, disturbances of some kind. So many things can come in to like disrupt. And I've noticed this for some time. I'm sharing this now because it's happening at this time. I'm just gonna quiet down anyways, because you just have to keep the calm. Something that I'm beginning to understand too at this time of understanding the two poles, if I want to describe it as something, and the wands cards have actually been helping me in understanding this most profound energy of positive and negative energy that both occupy these lands all the time. It's always here. We charge up the energy by engaging in whichever energy we choose to engage in. That's why peace is found within. Because there's so much external distract that if you scream your head off like, shut up, because I've done that before. I'm like, be quiet, Neo. I've yelled at my dogs. I've yelled, to be quiet. I've done that. I've gotten frustrated. And it only intensifies it more. And then when I find that I breathe in some more and not allow for the external disturbance to affect my two poles that I get to charge, that I am controller of. Because some Tom, Dick, and Harry from the outside want to come in and, wave their cocks around for a little spin and want to disturb my energy fields. I have them here in my hands. you know, whatever you get to connect with that brings you closer to this core center within you, let go of the judgment. Even if it's religion too that brings you through that door, even if it takes you believing in some fixed idea or belief system that you will have to continue to break down until you turn that around and let go of that too. You know, whatever it is that brings you to this place, it's usually some external thing that brings you to this focal point of going in. It's always there's always a catalyst to something, especially so transformative, that occurs within us. So understanding that, and you hear that now, just knowing that we are our own energy master creators, and that if we can just understand that emotion is an energy vibration that we express through our actions, using our body, with our mouths, or, you know, however it is that we choose to express our emotions. That means we get to meet with the stop sign inside first. That allows us to check with ourselves first before we even get to act out whatever it is that we're going to act out. Making sure that if you're on this wave and page, and if you are visiting this page, you are on some kind of wave and page, as this is, you know, that I be talking about in some kind of way. Even if I convince you to check out my page and this is not your thing, healing waves, for there's seeds in everything. The seed that one receives when visiting this page here may not be the same that was needed and given to another person that checks it out. But that's not how this is, that's not how any of this is all about. But just think of holding like a wand, you know. You'd be like, oh, you know, someone religious might check out this page and be like, oh, she's talking about the tarot cards these days. That's like devil worship, or whatever they can judge and say. I'm not here to convince people to believe as I believe, or to take on the things that I take on. All I'm here is to share with loving care, light so bright, healing vibes, love, my wings freaking flying and flapping all over this place, sending that your way. You go on with your day believing whatever it is that you desire to believe or are at to believe. Like, I'm not here to convince, that's not my thing. Nor will I argue with anyone about their beliefs, because that's like pollution to me. Makes no sense. All I can do is speak from my level of truth and honesty, and you take with it as you desire and please. And with respect, the same as you are given by me, is the same I expect in return. That's all. Which is, you know, makes me even think about like, oh, what's respect? You know, that's perception and stuff like that, meaning that just don't get in my face. That's all. Like, you know, like when somebody wants to try to be like, oh, you do, and all that kind of stuff. I'm still human in this life form. That's never gonna sit right with me. Somebody getting all up in my face. That's when, you know, I don't want it shift to occur. And it's crazy because I got tested not too long ago, a couple of months back, with anger that I haven't felt in a while, with kind of like a confrontation. Like, it was just like shit's going down. And I remember after, like, you know, because I allowed myself to slip is what I called it, because I lost my cool, and I was gonna lose my cool for reals until, like, you know, I breathed in, what's the deal? And, you know, of course I got with my reels quickly, which is amazing, because if I want to think about that, and I think about back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I don't sit and wish I was a kid again. But, you know, back in the days, when I say that I knew anger, I knew anger well. And 11/11, I saw, it's that collective shit. But still, you know, collective of mine, you know, I knew anger very well. And so these last, I can even just say a good, like, since, like, what, 2009, 2010, whatever, since that point on, of when true peace began for me to be felt, like actually felt. I'm not saying life was perfect, because trust me, it's been a roller coaster ride since that time frame, and I've had many towers crumble since, and just, you know, hit after hit after hit after hit, and even just moments where I was met with that rage inside that didn't happen all the time, but I'm just saying that I was, I guess you want to say, graduating to a new level, if you want to say, because I had to process that consciously. So even when I felt the anger boil in, you know, and then even the dishonesty that brought me to release a lot of anger in me. And it came with a dishonesty that I refused to hold myself accountable for. And because I refused to do so, I was letting go of other anger, since I was going to live this dishonesty out. Because pride was everything that I was all about, because I was not going to hold myself accountable. And so this created a different kind of humble humility within me that said, bitch, you better chill, please, for these karmic seeds. You think that you gonna get away with this dishonesty? Let's see how long you can live with this, you see. And I was like, I'm gonna live with this, you see, and do every other good deed, and just let this one be. You know, what's in the past is in the past. You let go of that. I'm a good person. But as we know, for the things that we sow, how well do you sleep at night? And those thoughts that creep in the still of the night, that won't go away, because, you know, there are certain things that we are made to learn. And so that was the seed, although misaligned in every kind of deed, that created the anger in me to recede, like simmer down. And since I was rocking it out with my denial, because that's what I was all about, the practices in this new state of simmered rage, I was met with many kind of practices and solutions that assisted me in experiencing this new level of peace. But I still had to go deep. I'm gonna stop this here because this is already getting longer than I wanted it to be. Stay tuned, part 2 if you want to know more.